that was me,
We're
that'd be an attack against, like when your competition does something, and they are in competition, they are competitors.
Right.
When your competitor does something, you have to sometimes make a statement and say, okay, we're not doing that, or okay, us two, we're gonna do it.
Well, I mean, technically, Indiegogo doesn't have to do anything. I mean, just because Kickstarter is doing something doesn't mean that they have an obligation to answer it. It's just like, okay, Kickstarter's doing that. We're not doing that. Big deal.
But allow me to be the devil here for a second.
Okay, of course.
We're supposed to be the fun show. But go
ahead.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be fun for someone. If my competition does something to keep down fraud and people getting misused, and then I don't do it, doesn't that mean that I want people to run over to my platform, all the criminals to run over to my platform now, because they know, he doesn't have these safeguards in place?
Well, isn't that isn't that kind of the reputation Indiegogo has already? So it's like they're not really so they're not really arguing for or against anything they're not doing already. Because like I said, of course, to clarify, depending on when people are jumping in here, we're talking about the technology segment of Kickstarter and Indiegogo. We're not talking about the comics, although they do claim, Kickstarter is claiming that they are going to apply some of their safeguards to comics.
You should put safeguards in air quotes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, safeguards. Yeah.
Hey, that's my brother Edwin. Edwin says, "Don't do it. Don't be the devil." Okay, I won't be.
Right.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Congratulations, bro. By the way, he's
Is that really your brother?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, Edwin.
Yeah. That's my brother.
Glenn Fleming's listening this morning. Hey guys. Hey Glenn.
Good morning.
All the way from
Marvy
listening. Good morning, Marvy.
I'm the annoying little brother, which is awesome because
Chad is open. Yeah, me too. I'm the annoying little brother.
I'm not getting my way. By the way, I guess I should introduce myself. Hi, I'm Varian Grant, founder of Indie Volt Media. Been making comic books.
Are you going to host? That's cool.
No. Well, yeah, you want to do it first? I'll let you do it first.
No, it doesn't matter. You go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Today's a free form Sunday.
You've got family in house. So,
I've been making comics since 2008. And it's been a horrible experience. I love comics. I am a comic book artist, writer, publisher, husband, geek, all that good stuff, reluctant taxpayer, and consumer, consumer of all types of media.
Yes, he is.
And apparently lately a Twitter fiend. I've been on Twitter reading all the stuff.
Oh boy,
all those memes.
Be careful.
And
oddly, you're not on Parler yet or Glub.
Well, I do have a Parler account, and because listen, it doesn't something.
Oh, you are on Parler. Okay,
wait. I'll explain. Introduce yourself first, though. Introduce yourselves, and I'll explain why I'm on Parler.
Hey, everybody out there. Welcome to the Sunday Funnies. We are here to talk comics, funny books, the whimsical and more lighter side, hopefully. If we don't get into another dark and abysmal puppet show, we'll be good. Welcome aboard, everybody. The chat is open. YouTube is live. I am open. My Facebook is open for public viewing. So come on in. The chat is open. Marv's in the house. Joe's in the house. Thanks for coming on board. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I'm a longtime independent and alternative comics creator, producer, I guess you would say, doer. I've done just everything that you can imagine in the comic business, including retail and run conventions. So we're here to talk funnies and comics, and Varian's here, and so's Daphne. Daphne, introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Daphane Lage, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist out of New York. I am the artist of the funny animal fantasy comic Tall Tales and the upcoming Ego Raven Heir of the First Unicorn, premiering on Kickstarter January 4th, 2021. You can check out my work and sign up for updates at talltales, TAILS.online.com, and at my YouTube channel at Daphane Lage, Lage Art.
And that'll definitely be on Kickstarter because it's all done already.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely all done. Yes, yes. So that's why I'm not too worried.
Yeah, she's not worried because she's like, I do all my stuff already. I don't need to worry about
yeah, I'm way ahead. I got proofs and everything.
Okay, so here's why I'm on Parler.
Greetings, Max. Thanks for listening. Go ahead.
First of all, I'm on Parler, and it's all Dreaded Dinosaur's fault. Eric Hudson. It's all his fault. But the other problem is that Mary Machine Gun says, "Greetings, everyone. Hello." Here's the problem.
Good morning, Mary.
Whenever there's a new social network, I try to run out and get the names of the companies.
Right.
Because what I don't want to happen is someone to get the name on that network and then start abusing it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But the problem is now, Parler is getting such negative press. It's like, should we really be on there? But we haven't said anything. I don't want to be the My Pillow of comics. I shouldn't say that on here.
Well, it is My Pillow or Pillow Fort?
No, My Pillow.
That's another one. Okay, because I know Pillow Fort.
No, My Pillow. You know the big comfortable pillows my wife wants. They have a tendency to advertise wherever.
Oh, okay. Now I know who you're talking about. Right.
And they don't care where they advertise.
Right.
And sometimes they go a little too far one way with their advertisement. You're like, whoa,
right?
You're like, it's like
you're advertising on Stormfront.
Yeah. We'll be right back. You're watching the David Duke program, and then it's like, hey, how about My Pillow? So it's like, whoa. Now that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna talk about funny comics. Randy, how about that little Abner?
Have they done that before? Oh yeah, you want to talk about little Abner? There we go. Let's switch over. We want to talk
classic Frank Frazetta, Little Abner.
Oh no! Well, the Frazetta I think was only on there for a couple of months, maybe a week.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That was Al Cap, who turned into a very incredibly staunch Republican later in his career.
I tried to get off.
Very staunch, very opinionated. And nowadays, you would never see that out there because of its treatment of Southern mountain people.
Okay.
You mean the Chip guy? The Chips guy?
What Chips guy?
Yeah, the Chips guy.
That's Arthur Treacher, dude.
No, Al Cap, the Chips. The little
that's Andy Cap.
Andy Cap. Okay, Andy Cap.
Yeah. We have a huge audience over in England right now that's laughing at you.
Yeah.
Andy Cap over there is a big icon. So
okay, yeah. Well, they had Chips.
Very popular comic strip.
Yeah.
And that I'll be honest with you. The first time I seen that character was a bag of chips.
Yeah, it was the something like Flaming Hots or something.
Yeah, hot fries.
Yeah, hot fries.
Yeah. It's like that with Buster Brown too. Everybody knows Buster Brown shoes, but nobody realizes that it started as a comic strip way back when.
Oh, that's funny.
Was one of the very first comic strips. Out Cult. The same person who created the Yellow Kid created Buster Brown.
Interesting.
Way back when, and he was he was one of the big time big money makers back in that day because he knew how to merchandise his stuff and real trailblazer on that kind of stuff, that kind of material. He was fought over for Yellow Kid because Yellow Kid was such a big character, even though and now it's a stereotyped Asian that's really. His looks are very embarrassing. That Walt Disney took it and turned it into Dopey, really.
Oh, really?
Well, you can't help but see the resemblance, at least. Yeah. Varian, what?
Travis Gibbs said, there is a pillow fort. I want a pillow fort. William Fleming says, Andy Cap, brilliant. From Indie Vote Radio, actually, though, someone is listening live right now, and they, I don't know where they're from, but they spell their name. It looks like, I guess you can spell Jacob that way. I'm sorry if I slayed your name. I'm sorry, but it's Jakob. It might be Jacoby.
Well, no, it's Jacob.
Jacob. Okay,
it's definitely Jacob.
Well, Jacob says he wants to know. Well, I'll read it. Hold on. Charles Schultz, sellout or entrepreneur?
Oh,
wow.
I really do have to.
Goodbye.
Yeah. I really do have to. I guess like show some umbrage at the whole selling out thing, because it's like, making our stuff popular. I mean, it's nice to do. I mean, it might not be the focus, but I mean but it's nice to be able to do that. It's like all of a sudden, Netflix is interested. It's like, I'm not going to turn away Netflix because all of a sudden I have artistic integrity or something, whatever that means. I mean, we live in a capitalist society. Why wouldn't we want to get a payday out of the hard work that we do? I mean, I just don't like the idea of selling out being used as some kind of that makes you a lesser creator.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what your definition of sellout is, but Schultz was very guarded about the imagery, especially, or at least while he was alive.
Right. Yeah. It's not like
only allowed a couple of things, very few things out, especially compared to some of the other creators. It's very much like Sam Waterston, who does Calvin and Hobbes, who doesn't allow a lot of stuff out, but a lot of stuff gets out there anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I'm sure the second he dies, there's going to be people picking at his bones.
I don't know. I'm not sure how his will is set up. It might all just disappear, but I know Universal guards that strip with their life. And I asked them to allow me to run the strip in the Flint Comics paper that I had. And they told me no.
Right.
That nobody in North America gets that strip. It's all allowed to be run and rerun over in Europe and other countries, but not in the U.S. because Waterston sells the collections.
Oh, okay.
Then he makes I hope he makes a good percentage off of those.
I would hope, yeah. Because I mean, those collections are like those. I think they're Tessians or something. They're like giant. You need a pedestal to read those.
Some of them are, yeah. Some of them are in small paperback form. Some of them you can get incredibly inexpensively at Barnes and Noble.
I'm ready to weigh in now.
Okay.
Holidays.
The thing about Charles Schultz is, I'm sorry, I'm coming across some interference here. MetLife.
Oh, I actually forgot about that.
Yes, he did allow MetLife. They were friends of his. They asked him politely, and he didn't want to tell them no. But there was a lot of real positive things that Schultz did, and there were a lot of other imagery that had gotten out over a period of time. He was the first to play in animation. He literally started all the holiday special stuff.
Right. Yeah.
That kind of exploded after Charlie Brown. Come on, Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, I think, was the first, or Charlie Brown Christmas, one of the other.
I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, because listen, I got a pretty dark comic, but I'm pretty sure I could work a deal with McDonald's to get a Happy Meal.
Yeah. The really cool thing about Schultz, though, is that he stayed at that strip until he passed. Yeah. And you can tell that the humor gets weak and the lines get shaky as he goes along towards the end of his career. But he stayed on that strip because he felt loyal to the fans. And that's something important. And he was careful about the imagery that got out and didn't want anything cheesy or nasty looking. And the cool thing about having your own comic strip, especially back when Schultz landed his, is that you were a superstar if you got into over a couple hundred papers. You were paid incredibly well. You got probably half of the profits that the syndicate pulled in, and you made more than a good living just doing the strip. Where nowadays, a lot of the folks that do the comic strips you see in the Sunday papers have 2 or 3 other jobs or have a big commercial career in order to try to make ends meet, because the amount of papers are not there anymore, and the amount of money that they collect from those papers is not that high. Because I ran strips I did my own paper for about 10 years here around Flint and took on a lot of syndicated strips that we had advertisers supported. That I did monthly, and I took on some syndicated strips, and I know how much you pay for that. Even though I had a low run paper, you pay in accordance to your print run, how much you pay the syndicate. And the money I paid for them strips were relatively nothing.
Yeah. See, I think Daphne, you mentioned artistic integrity.
With the syndicates, it's all volume, and with the people who create those properties, it's all whatever you can get right now. Yeah.
Now, again, I mean, you want as much money as you can get, but Randy, could you see a Spank the Monkey Happy Meal?
No.
Just for the name, probably.
Just for the name. Yeah. Could I see Aniverse toys? Absolutely. I want to see. Yeah. I want to see Playmate style, turtle style Aniverse toys. Right. Always have. You see a Faltress. It's so big, and mischievous. It's so big. Yeah.
Exactly. McDonald's toy.
It's funny. It's like have anyone accused Eastman and Laird of selling out? I mean, they did it in such all the time because it's they did it in such a very specific way. They really, because it's I thought it's okay, whatever was in the comics was still theirs, and then it's okay, if the Cartoon Network wants to do something, it's separate from the comics, so they could still do the comics the way they wanted to.
I don't fault them for cashing in. I don't get me wrong. They deserve everything that they can get. As the problem is they didn't watch over the quality of the work as much as Schultz did, for example, or weren't as studious with their property like Sam Waterston, or even what's his face, Tatuli, who runs Leo. Leo's an incredibly popular strip, but you don't see a Leo cartoon or a Leo anything anywhere, and right now especially he could be cashing in really hard on that character. I don't know if you've ever seen Leo.
Right. No, probably it's one of those things that I'd recognize it if I saw it.
He's done strip collections. A little boy with a pointy hairdo.
Oh, okay.
That does very funny, very dark things, very much along the lines of Addams and Addams Family.
Oh, okay.
Type humor, and it's an incredibly good strip. It's one of the most popular strips I ran in the paper. If you go back through the papers, it's probably in a couple of them. So I think we carried it from 1 to in the high 80s. I think.
So I guess in the end, the issue is that we don't really have a definition of selling out.
No.
At what point, what's considered selling out? Is getting a Happy Meal selling out? Is getting a lunchbox selling out? It's
you know what? Selling out is officially declared when you have more money than your friends.
Okay, all right. It's a good thing we clarified that.
Is that the line?
That's the line.
That's the line. It's when you have more money than I do. Okay, all right.
Yeah, well, you sold out. Yeah, it's I hit him with the Seth Rollins. I didn't sell out. I bought in.
Right. Exactly.
That line is always in the eye of the beholder, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's in the eye of the bank account or the teller.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you right now.
Nobody needs to know how much money you made.
There is nothing more shameful than when you go to the bank and everyone else in there is getting real money, and you're trying to write a little deposit slip for $8.10.
Everybody else is sold out.
Yeah, you take it up to the teller. She look at you like this. She just go in her pocket and give it to you, right?
Well, you just to be fair, you just bought a PlayStation 5, so
I just want a Happy Meal.
Yeah, I'm the ultimate sellout. Let me tell you something. I sell out quick. I mean, everything I'd sell out. I don't think that I have a property that I probably have one property I couldn't sell, but the other ones, Happy Meals, toys, lunch boxes, underoos. Let's get it. Let's get that money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Tipsy the Drunken Gnome underoos.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember, Randy, when I did Tipsy, and you said, "Hey," and it was a really good advice. You said, "Hey, we can't depict him drinking," and the advice Randy gave me was just make his behavior a part of his personality, and not so much because he's drunk.
Oh,
and that was really good advice because I didn't have to set up why he was always this way. It was just Tipsy's an idiot.
Well, it's like Looney Tunes, where you see adult humor in it, but the kids aren't going to get it. Everybody sees the name Tipsy, and they'll know the guy's a drunk. Yeah. But the kids won't. They'll just catch his attitude and his personality.
Yeah.
They always seem to sing that song, "How Dry I Am." Nobody knows how dry I am.
It was really cool though to be able to put that strip, and I thank Randy for that. Let me do that strip because it it taught me about deadlines and how to miss them. How to watch them go.
How to totally blow them. Yeah.
Yeah. I got it was great. It was like I'm getting.
By the way, folks, we are TVMA DLSV.
Just in case you haven't figured that out.
The word blow kind of tricky.
And I wasn't the worst. I wasn't the worst person to miss deadline. So as long as like I wasn't like the worst, it was okay. Because I'm sitting looking like, is this person wrote in that? Nope, they're not there yet. I'll just take another day. But I will get it done. I remember doing a strip, and I sent it in with no color because I would try to get it colored and send it to Randy. Well, this one I sent in, it wasn't colored, so Randy colored it himself. And I remember I sent the strip in, and Tipsy's at the doctor, and the doctor says, "I'm not sure what's wrong, but I think it's the drinking." And Tipsy's sitting on the doctor's table says, "Isn't that kind of wrong to do on the job, doc? But if you look at the doctor, it's Randy." And I don't think Randy noticed it because he colored the doctor black.
No, I didn't notice it at all. Not that would have changed the coloring choice.
Yeah. It was like, that was you, but okay. So there it is. It was really cool. Yeah. He's got a tan. He's been out. But yeah, that's it was really cool to be. And then to see yourself and print it in the strip, that was print it in the paper. That's nice.
Jake Lindsay's a gospel magician. Cool. Which do you like more, Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes?
Oh, I like Looney Tunes. I like
Looney Tunes. I like Looney Tunes. Now, if you're gonna ask me which one do I like better, I'm a big fan of Tom and Jerry Kids. If for no other reason than that theme song. When you were my age,
must be what you grew up with then.
Right,
When you were my age, you couldn't help but dance to that song. You get in front of the TV, say Tom and Jerry. Woo! As a matter of fact, it's stuck in my head. I'm gonna listen to it.
You'll have it in your head all the rest of the day.
Yeah.
For me, it was always the opening Johnny Quest.
Ha.
So that music was iconic. No,
I've watched a lot of Johnny Quest.
Haven't watched enough of it then. If you don't like it, you don't love it. You just haven't watched enough of it.
No, my brain asks questions that I'm not sure that the people are ready to answer.
You gotta love Doug Wildey when he took them the show and they ran they did the pilot, which has the lizard men in it. And then the executives come back to him and said, Johnny needs a companion, like a faithful Indian companion, like a Tana. No. And he says, okay, I'll give him an Indian.
Oh, really?
And that's how Haji was born.
Wow, that's funny.
Lion. It was funny. They liked him enough. They said, yeah, that's cool. Go ahead.
Oh boy.
I think that I like Johnny Quest. The
only might be urban legend, but that's the story as I understand it. Yeah.
It's plausible. It has a lot of plausibility.
It's like, you want an Indian? I'll give you an Indian.
The problem is with Johnny Quest, the first Johnny Quest I remember seeing was the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, which is the revamp was that the 90s?
Yeah, that was an embarrassment.
Yeah. And then, I seen the old ones, but
took all the cute out of it, all the cute out of Bandit. Hey, let's get the computer to do most of the work. Ain't that fun? Yeah.
And they edited the hell out of some of those episodes because I seen some unedited ones that were like, whoa, you did that on TV? Okay. In a cartoon?
At the time, they didn't have any restrictions.
Yeah.
They were above the FCC. They just didn't realize, what do you mean they're not for adults? Anyway. But that's only one of many bad decisions executively that Cartoon Network has suffered from over the years. So it's just been, you ever see that Buster Keaton routine where he's constantly stumbling and stumbling and stumbling and stumbling? That's Cartoon Network right there. Same thing with Sci-Fi Channel, in my opinion.
From Jake,
just bad.
From Jacob again. He wants to know: do you guys think that the term "funny animal" keeps comics with anamorphic creatures in the kid zone? That's a good question. I guess
that's funny. Yeah.
That is funny.
Well, yes, because I started reusing the term "funny animal" when I started when I started here.
Yeah.
Randy was using it, and I go, you know what? That's a term that needs to come back. Funny animal, because the thing is though, the word furry though has so many negative connotations.
It's grown to have
It's like most people, you know, they hear funny, they hear furry, and they automatically think adult material. So that's not accurate to what I'm doing. I mean, funny animal is kind of a weird, like old-timey term, I guess, but at the same time, it seems more accurate to what I'm doing. And nobody knows how to pronounce anthropomorphic, so I don't want to expose them to that.
Yeah, I had to look it up in the dictionary to know what the hell it was.
Yeah,
and I saw that word on Albedo, and I'm like, anthropomorphic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think I dropped a couple of letters.
Right. Yeah. Anamorphic. I used to hear anamorphic, and it's like, no, that's not it.
They just yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's keeping it in the kid zone. I think that it's
we have a copy of a Funny Animals comic down in the lower left on our back with Hoppy the Marvel Bunny.
I don't think it keeps it in the kids. I think it's what they are. It's a kind of like a genre type.
Well, it's easy to pigeonhole, just like the word furry. You think furry, you think one thing. You think funny animal, you think a different thing.
Yeah.
And what Daphne does and what the Aniverse does is not that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because then you really have to go back and look at some of the old Carl Barks material and the early Gus Furson Mickey Mouses and wonder how funny they were when they were actually adventure stories.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's really where Aniverse came from. It was a more adulting of the Donald Duck Uncle Scrooge tales.
Yeah.
What they rated for DuckTales, severely rated for DuckTales.
John Slushy says
one of my favorite theme songs is George. Yes,
George. Watch out for that tree.
Yeah. One of my favorites along that line, Super Chicken too.
Boy.
Whenever I was teaching cartooning at school, I would always run a Super Chicken cartoon, even though he drinks a martini in order to get his powers.
Oh no.
Yeah, those.
Is it any worse than Underdog and his questionable little ring?
Well, they went through on the later reruns of that, even though Wally Cox had passed, who did the voice, and they substituted energy with vitamin. So it's like, in the secret compartment of my ring, I fill with an Underdog super vitamin pill.
I did like Georgia Jungle. Georgia Jungle also has a line in it that I use quite often when teaching Lola how to drive, which is watch out for that tree.
Oh boy, yeah, that.
I still say you knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred.
Yeah. It's you know what's funny? Teaching Lola how to drive, I was really impressed. Actually, she went around the block. I did not swear once. She's got a bit of a lead foot.
Oh well, yeah.
It's like, hey. You know, there are cars on the side of us. But she did pretty good. And telling you, backing up, that's what she needs to slow down at. That's what she needs to slow down. She'll come out full tilt on you. And that was very scary.
When they have the camera in the back, it's so much more easier.
Oh yeah, definitely. My mom has a car that with the camera, and it is so much easier to do it with that.
I find myself not looking back now. I don't look back. I look at the camera and
well, you're still supposed to look back.
Nah, that's looking back is for lames.
Oh boy.
Well, it still only gives you a limited field of view, but the cool thing, we ended up having to rent a car a couple of months ago because our car was in the shop for 2 weeks, and that car had sensors on both sides of the car that had a light go off underneath the rear view mirror if there was somebody next to us or back in our blind spot.
Wow. Okay.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I turned that off because that's annoying.
You can look over and see that light and go, well, there's somebody over there now. I can't go into the lane.
Yeah, I mean, it can get pretty annoying, especially when you're driving.
Yeah.
Someone like, beep, come on. I know they're there, but yeah.
Well, it didn't have a buzzer. It just had a light.
Yeah. See, you're lucky you looked out. That beep is.
I didn't look out. I had to have that damn car for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I was at the shop for 2 freaking weeks, and it wasn't. And it was a repair that they should have been able to do in a day. Don't get me started.
You know what I think I like the most about comic strips though, and it's an aesthetic that I know was a mistake. Oh, go ahead.
I think this is the first time we've actually started talking about comic strips on the Sunday Funning Show.
Well, you know, we have to kind of like work our way into it.
We're waiting, kids. Go ahead.
I like when the printer would goof up and all the color will be offset.
Yeah.
In
I see a lot of people imitating that now.
Yeah. And that's like really what you want. Like the Jackie Chan cartoon tried to emulate that. They would offset in the cartoon, the color would be slightly askew from the line work.
Oh, probably to imitate the shadow that the cells made.
Probably, but it just reminded me of a strip, and so I found myself even wanting to try to do that in when I was doing the Tipsy strip in the Flint Comics. Like, can I emulate that? Can I take my color and shift it? Or Randy called me and say, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? Why are you shifting the color?"
Some people even take it further and they put like little hairs in it and little, you know, like damaged paper texture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just thought you were rushed.
Like,
very in at midnight going, I got to get that strip in today.
But I always like that. That's always like
late.
And the funny thing is, I have some pages that I've saved from comics that are like that. If I don't see them, oh, come on, couldn't the printer mess up this one? Once now they're all digitally printed now, basically. Right. So the chance of them messing up is off.
Well, that's the funny thing. The more we get used to digital, like really cleaning up and prettifying everything, I guess like the more the aesthetic of trying to put in all those flaws back become popular. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, I've seen people even try to go in and do a little dot coloring.
Yeah,
you know. Is that 4-color, Randy? Is that what it's called?
It's like the dot matrix coloring. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, is that what they call it? Dot matrix? Like it's
I don't know what they call it. It's the old CMYK printing.
Yeah.
Right.
Color code, color key.
Yeah. I just think that's like really cool. And when I see it in comics today, I'm like, oh man, they did that. They went the extra step to do that. That's pretty cool. And it doesn't take me out the book at all. It doesn't. As
long as it's an older style book, it's all good.
Marv says, I don't believe that someone will let go of $1 million deal. If that happens, that person is an idiot, and those who say that will never do that deal. They're hypocrites.
I know of. I'm not going to name names, but there was. I did know somebody who they got an opportunity to work at one of the major publishers, and I guess they freaked out and they decided not to take the job.
Well, that's Randy. You can say his name.
No, that wasn't me. I was going through a divorce at the time.
I remember them writing an editorial about it because everyone was expecting them to like, oh, you know, like I guess it's like, and he would say, oh, no, I just didn't want to sell out. And it's like, no, you just realized you couldn't do the job.
You just blew the opportunity.
And you're just trying to excuse the fact that you said no. I mean, it's like, and the funny thing is, like, it's not like saying no would have been that big of a deal. It's like, okay, look, you know, it's a little over my head. I'm not comfortable, whatever, right? But instead, they had to like make such a fuss about how they're not selling out.
Yeah,
and it's like, and that's what kind of made the whole thing lame.
I'm not. It's an excuse. I didn't want to sell out.
Yeah,
no, you.
Yeah, you couldn't.
I made the mistake of asking how much it paid.
Oh,
and laughing in Sid Jacobson's face at the time.
Yeah, wow.
What? No.
Yeah. So it's like, how am I supposed to sell out for that?
you know that's Randy walking away slowly from that bridge as it blows up behind him. It's cool doing. He's like,
that literally blew up too.
No, but you know what's funny is like, not for nothing. There are people who think that selling out also means your standards are so low you'll take anything.
Well, sometimes some of these deals it looks like it.
Yeah.
You know, you sit there and you watch this cartoon, you go, "Oh, geez,
right."
What the
We had a publisher offer us like $1,200 for all the rights, and we were like going, no, we're good."
$1,200.
And yeah, $1,200, and it's like, and he was acting like he was giving us the sun and the moon, and it's like $1,200. We make that at a convention.
Yeah. Did you instruct him to? Oh,
Is that what you told him? That should be what you told him.
I don't remember what we told him. We just told him that it's like, oh, it was the whole, well, we'll kind of think about it, and then we just never answered back, I guess.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I would have instructed him to.
So depending upon exactly what they were going to do, if it was a cartoon deal.
No, I mean, they wanted like all the rights for everything worldwide, and it was just like, what? Yeah, and it's like, and they were just really vague as to what we would be getting for that $1,200, and it's like, okay.
That'd be the time to get a lawyer.
No, it was a bad deal with or without a lawyer. So yeah, so we just let it flounder.
I had a very big animator one time wanted to spank the monkey, and the first thing he asked is, "Does he always have to be mad all the time?" I'm like, "Dude, you don't understand the property."
Right? Yeah, it's like
he's an angry, pissy little monkey. Come on.
Yeah. It's like, oh, because we thought he'd look cute and stuff, but that's a whole other issue though, when they completely misunderstand.
Oh, just missed.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, I can't. I guess I can't say that on this show.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Yeah, that's the reason I use pencils, colored ink and paper on board. Often the mistakes are the best part of the art.
Yeah.
Computer software has done to art what CDs did to vinyl.
Right, and we were just talking about that on the last show, how everyone's buying vinyl again. They're buying record players. They want to hear the pops and the scratches and everything.
I almost bought one last week. There's one here in the house, but I almost bought this. Like not even last week. Well, I guess last week. Yeah, Thursday, Friday. There was Second and Charles has all these really cool record players. And you can hook them up to your Bluetooth speakers or headphones, whatever you want to do. And I thought, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But what's funny is the records are really expensive now.
Oh yeah. You're not finding $7 records anymore.
Yeah. Good morning, Joe. You're not late at all. We're just shooting the breeze, Joe. So it's all good. Yeah. But yeah, I got I the last year or so of the paper. I had a guy who actually opened a record shop in Flint. It was like the first one, except for the used record stores, in a long time. And he was killing. He was doing real good. There was a lot of money to be made in old stereo equipment that he'd pick up from estate sales and that and get working.
Right.
The old tube batteries in the back of them. And yeah.
Oh, I meant to tell you. I was going to tell you, Randy. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I did send that. That porcelain statue over, and he loved it. He loved
porcelain statue.
The porcelain statue that I sent you, I found in Second and Charles.
Oh, okay, cool.
And he loves it. I can show it. You mind if I show it?
You'll know. You'll automatically know who you sent it to if you do.
Yeah, I'll show it.
I'm glad he liked it.
Does this remind anybody of anyone? Of anyone?
He has a link this morning. He's welcome to come on.
I sent it over to him. I sent it over to Brian K. Morris.
The likeness is uncanny. That's really funny.
And he thought it was great. He says he's getting it. He said he may have a new prop in the back. And then I sent him a link to where he can buy them. I found them online.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Is that a piggy bank or just
that particular one is
not a piggy?
Well, yeah, but
looks like a Fez turkey bank.
And he thought it was great. He says he's gonna get one. So we may see a new item behind him in an upcoming show.
Carefully paint that over. It'd be good.
Yeah. It's funny. I walk past, holy crap.
Anything with a Fez on it's going to be iconic anyway.
He didn't like sold my old Pioneer rack system for over $2,500 without the speakers. Wow. Yeah, see, and some of that stuff is very expensive. Very expensive.
That's all antiques now.
Yeah.
He picked it up.
There are people still freaking out about the iPods. The old the old iPods.
Yeah,
I can't help but think Walkmans will be making a comeback
Oh
because
yeah,
so few.
well, didn't they come back a little bit after Guardians of the Galaxy came out?
Yeah. That particular model from Sony did. People wanted that. Sony tried cashing in, but
I still have a tremendously huge box full of cassettes back here.
That's what Sony does. They cash in all the time.
Right. Yeah. Well, it works. It works.
Anybody needs a Pablo Cruz cassette, let me know.
Right.
I got some old Moore's Day in Time cassettes. You folks are welcome to.
That's cool.
Moore's Day in Time, and I think
I still have a cassette player over here.
Yeah. My radio still has a cassette
every once in a while.
I have a stereo. It still has a cassette player, 5 or 6 CD slots on it. Every year it just starts to look more and more early 2000s.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna have to.
Is it the one that has like the little neon lights everywhere and
it's got red lights? They're moving around, and it's the big JVC, one of those big JVC.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, it's a monster. The only reason I don't get rid of it is because I've got statues on top of it.
Oh, okay.
So it's in it when I'm looking up at it, and it's on the top shelf of one of my shelves, and I got figures on top of it, so I probably should get rid of it at some point.
But then you have to move your statues.
Yeah.
I'd rearrange my whole basement if I could get a hold of a 1930s bullet radio.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those are classic to me. That represents old radio programs, and that'd be cool. I have to set up a set of shelves somewhere and so that we can display it.
Since
right now, finals and pray for a third boom come 20 years. There you go.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Be nice. Be nice to get
I still have a few tapes. Yeah.
And then it's kind of weird though, because I'm walking through some of these stores and I'm seeing like Avengers the movie vinyls, and I'm like, what? Yeah. What is it? Because they're making new material, and it's DC just put out an album, the music of DC Comics.
Did they really?
Yeah, which I thought was gonna be like a bunch of moaning from interns.
Oh boy,
it's not the interns that are moaning. That's the one. It's the editors and the assistant editors that are actually moaning as they go out the door. They're moaning, a boot kick and a door slam.
Yeah, really. No, Mondo, the was it Mondo Tees or something? Mondo. I don't know their full name of the company, but they do. They're constantly releasing vinyls.
Yeah, I would like to.
What the heck would constitute the music from DC Comics?
It's
And if they were to do the same thing for Marvel, will the Milkshake song be on it?
My milkshake brings our boys to the yard, and they're like, "I'm not buying this."
Did you find it? The music of DC.
It's 75.
32.98. That might be the CD, but there's a big vinyl, and I'm like, "Hey, there's a vinyl."
32.98.
32.98. The CD. Look at the CD, guys. 902.
$9.02.
No, $902.
Somebody's doing a little bit of price gouging there, ain't they?
I think I'll stick with the voice.
Well, usually, I read that usually when they put prices like that, it's because they don't have it for sale, but they don't want to take down the listing.
What is the list on that? Let me see if I can find it for you guys. And
that might explain the collectability of the Dark Horse reprint volume of Richie Rich. I've never been able to buy or find anywhere.
Right.
Let's see here.
I've got all the rest of them in the set. They did a set of 5 Harvey reprints where they went back and reprinted the real early stories, like the ones where Casper is so depressed he tries to kill himself.
Wait.
Exactly. Harvey, I love Harvey comics.
All right, so it's
hated him when I was a kid. Love him now because I understand him.
the Baby from Krypton intro. Okay, but that's from the Superman radio show by Bud Collyer, 1940.
Okay.
What are you going to do when you're not saving the world? From Man of Steel, Superman theme, from Ruby Spears. Superman, the animated series theme, Shirley Walker, 96. The flying sequence, Can't Read My Mind, featuring Margot Kidder, John Williams, side B.
That's
so
good.
It's basically a lot of music from the
different merchandising
all over, right?
Yeah. Now let me.
Can You Read My Mind song while they're flying? Yeah. With Margot Kidder doing the narration. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Batman stuff here. Batman theme from the original, Neil Heft. Is it Hefty? Danny Elfman's version. The Ballad of Batman from Batman the Brave and the Bold. There's a lot of stuff on here from different. Now that's volume. Yeah, that's volume 2. So
does that actually have words to it? The Ballad of Batman. And does it have Batmobile losing its wheels? That's what I want.
Beyond here. Let's see. Christmas with the Joker. Yeah, Jingle Bells. Batman Smells.
There we go.
Joker is Wild. The Sensation of His Heart. Dan and Dale. Sunrise, the Blues Project, and Mischief. Harley Quinn's theme from Infinite Crisis video game.
Oh God.
There's a lot of music.
I really can't describe how much I hate that character. I swear to God.
It's only because you're a rational human being.
Oh my God, I hate that character so much.
In my opinion.
29 tracks. 29 different tracks. So it might be worth $30.
I liked her in the animated show, but
because it's like I saw the whole thing with like Punchline, and I'm like going, oh my God, I can't believe they actually were able to create a character worse than Harley Quinn.
Oh no, they take that as a challenge.
Yeah.
Especially up in those offices anymore. Can you create a character worse than Captain Marvel? Ka-ching!
I mean, really, because
every Yoko Ono production starts and ends with yeah.
He says 902 USD doesn't beat PS5 scalpers. It does not. I seen the PS5 go for $10,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I thought about boxing.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, nobody's buying it for $10,000. They can list it. They can list it for $10,000. But nobody's buying it for $10,000. Huh?
Somebody bought it on eBay. However, will that person get the money? Is another question.
Oh well, that's true.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't mind, a little fraud for a prank.
Yeah. I would tell these scalpers, you got to watch out because we had a gentleman on the show. What was his name? Last name was Gutierrez. What was it? Do you remember his first name? Quincy. Quincy. Yeah. You're gonna run to a couple of those scalping, and you're gonna think you got the money. You got $1,200, and you get that return on PayPal like a week later.
Yeah.
And now you jump up and down, wondering what happened to your money. And
right. And
I thought you were talking about the other direction. So guy paid into a project who didn't get the book, and then asked for a refund. Was told no.
No, that was another guy. Yeah,
that's the chance you take. That's why you're getting gatekeepers. Have some.
Yeah. Well, to kind of go back to that thing about Kickstarter that we kind of started off the show with, it's like, is it really? I mean, I of course, like we're all concerned about like how the new system can be abused. But at the same time, though, it's like, is it really like that bad of a thing to demand that if you're going to put a project on Kickstarter, like a comic book project on Kickstarter, that it be finished or at least 90% done? I mean, is it really that bad of a thing to ask for?
It's not in principle, maybe in theory. However, there are going to be those that say, hey, I need to do this to fund the art. With art, because I've run across a few campaigns where people are asking for money to get art done, like, and just like get the designs done from art, because maybe they probably went to an artist like me who said I need big money, and go ahead, Randy.
And again, with that, the transparency is really the key. You should make the campaigns admit where they are with the project and show if they have the art done, show the art,
right?
Or show some sort of evidence that the art is completed, or if they need the money in order to afford the artist. Because I've seen those campaigns too. If I raise such and such an amount, I can afford this. If I can get this amount, I can afford that. And some people even include pie charts to show where the percentages of funding goes to. That's all part of being transparent and assuring people that their investment's not going to go to to waste. You know, but somebody that goes in and stabs their account $1,500 or their campaign $1,500 in order to look big, it makes 500 or so or whatever, and then pulls the 15 back and then doesn't refund the other 5 when the campaign doesn't go through. That's a problem.
Okay, that also brings up another thing, because I know that Varian was asking something about that, and we were kind of like talking about, well, maybe that's just like either like a fake bid, or like was that like in reference to something that you were asking about, like if someone like raises 500 but then all of a sudden before the campaign ends someone pulls that money?
Well, I had asked something about that a while ago, but no, that happened. A gentleman who I can't say his name.
And here we're talking about, I'm sorry, and I added to the conversation. We're talking about it on Sunday Funnies, where we're supposed to be lighthearted.
But yeah, he did that. He put $1,500 into his campaign, and
or somebody else for him did that.
And then because it was funded, it was like, hey, we're funded. We've met our baseline cost for production. And then it's in the update, so it's there. You know, you see it. And then he's like, so and he's very careful with his words. We've met the baseline for production. Now you turn around and people are like, okay, so this is coming out, this is happening. Here, I'll back it. And people start backing it, and then a couple days later, that 1,500.
Oh, a year or so before the campaign was finished.
Yeah, that 1,500
seriously disappeared.
Yeah, and it's like, with no mention, hey, I just lost $1,500, but then people are like, hey, wait a minute, it's a flexible goal, so that means they get the money anyway. So it's like when you go to them and say, well, wait a minute, is the book coming out? Should I, I want to pull my funding because you refund it, please, because it's Indiegogo, you got to ask, and you can tell, no, you're not getting your money back. So what? We didn't make the goal.
That's the chances you take. Grow up.
And then they wonder why. And then this is why gatekeepers pop up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's because people are abusing the system, and there has to be some kind of accountability.
Yeah. I guarantee you, it's gonna happen on Indiegogo at some point. They're gonna have to.
Do we have radio numbers?
We do. I can get radio numbers right now are at you're at 37,900. 37,900. It's very nice for a Sunday Funnies.
Yeah.
We're climbing. We actually are at we just for some reason I don't have numbers for certain places yet, but I've reloaded.
Come on, China.
Say shaking up dice. Come on.
I said that because we started talking serious talk and we dropped a couple people on that.
Now, I think that what happens though with a lot of creatives is that, and I've said this before, Randy, even with the comic strips, we've been like, there's this thing where it is expensive. It's an expensive job, hobby, career path to take. Because if you're drawing, then you got to get paid for that. And I mean, I'm looking at people who say, I just looked at a email the other day. This guy is upset because he's been working with a publisher, a well-known publisher. Well, decently, I say indie publisher that's decently well-known. He says his invoices for the last 6 months have gone unanswered.
Ooh.
And he's like, but he's still churning out work. And he says this is the last month he's going to because he can't do this anymore.
Did he get the pencils down order?
No, he didn't. He didn't get the pencils down order.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't get the pencils down order. In fact, he was hired, back in February. So he's like, I think he's 6 months in. He has none of his invoices have been answered.
Wow.
6 months worth of invoices is not answered.
Is that company still in existence?
They are. I'm not going to say their name because, they might copyright.
Yeah.
It's not them though. It's not who copyright claimed me. It's another company.
They might get upset. They might get mad if their laundry is aired.
Yeah. Well, I did
want to be more lighthearted on this show.
Yeah, I did email back and say, hey, contact the company, let them know, hey, guys.
Well, is the company is him or the company based in New York?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. In fact, the company
are they not answering other emails. They're just not answering his invoices. They're not fulfilling his invoices.
No, because it's like I think about like a year ago, New York passed a freelancers protection law, where it's like companies had to respond to invoices, I guess, either within 30 or 90 days, or else the city would get involved.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Pretty hot.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so yeah, so if he was in New York, he would probably have that available to him. But
I think I'm going to transfer my company to being a New York company, and then I'll just send everybody invoices. No, what happened was they gave him the job. It's a big art job, and every month he invoices them when he sends the pages. And he's been doing it for 6 months, and those invoices have not come back. The thing is, they are not a United States company.
Oh, that makes it.
Yeah, but I don't think there's.
How long has it been since he's had a unfulfilled invoice?
6 months.
Yeah, that's.
He sends an invoice every month, and
he needs to stop.
Yeah, I think so.
Stop. And if that situation ever arises with anybody else, I would definitely stop no later than 3.
Mm-hmm.
He is 3 months into just giving them stuff.
Just free stuff. Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think the company's screwing them. I think they're probably because they're no well-known.
If you're not paying your talent after 6 months, you know what? You don't get to you don't get to be
anything past 30 is unprofessional. Anything past 60 is wrong.
Yeah.
Listen, you New Yorkers are short-tempered anyway. You don't have patience.
No, we don't. We don't. And this is why. This is why we're a dangerous place.
You don't have patience. You don't know how to wait for anything. No, I do agree. He should have stopped a long time ago and said, "Hey guys, I can't work if I'm not getting paid."
Unless you're told up front that you're paid quarterly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
a whole different situation. But if he was expecting to be paid, and after 6 months of doing steady work for them, that's about 3 months too long.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like even if he was getting paid quarterly, 6 months is past that already.
How does somebody survive without getting paid for 6 months?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Most companies will close down.
Yeah. I have a hard time investing in any project where there is little to no money put in by the creator. Yeah, I believe that proof of concept or prototype has to be done.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I would say though, Randy, have you ever were these syndicates? Did you ever hear any of these syndicates with the comic strips not paying people? I know they're not paying much now.
Creators, there were. I have to admit, there were a couple of times I was behind on my bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But as far as the syndicates not passing that money along, no, I've never heard of it. Never heard of that. I'm not aware of it, but I'm not that, inside with any creators out there to have heard any of those kind of stories.
I would just
Glenn Fleming might know more about that over in England, but
maybe
Brian might know somebody, or Andrew Peaboy if he was around.
How much? Does that happen quite a bit? Another thing, Randy, I had a question for you. I was looking at a YouTube video, and it's going to come back to me really soon. Yeah.
You just have to replay all the commercials in your head to get.
It's awful. It's awful.
Yeah. Hamilton comics.
Off of the musical?
No. That'd be great though.
That would be interesting.
Imagine me having to sing all that while I'm reading it because sometimes doesn't translate. No, Hamilton comics. I was looking at they were talking about the history of Power Rangers and comic books.
I'm sorry.
And apparently Saban started their own imprint real quick, I guess. What I was told. They started their own imprint.
Believable.
Just to put the comics out because they didn't want to share. The Power Rangers iron was hot. And they were like, "Hey, we're gonna do comics." And some people say, "I remember the guy. He's like, the artwork is beautifully drawn." I'm like, "I remember that comic. I have those comics. That artwork was not beautifully drawn." No, I shouldn't say that. That artwork
beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes, exactly.
It seemed rushed to me. It seemed like they were just,
that happens.
Knock it out. And look, they had the saber-toothed tiger running on wheels like this. It's like that thing runs in the TV show. Why do you the toy has wheels underneath, but anyway.
Well, they're not selling the tiger on TV, they're selling the toy.
Yeah, I guess but the toy is supposed to be representative of the one on television. But I get what you're saying. You make a good point. But like Hamilton Comics is the one that put that out, and I was wondering, like, how many times has that happened too? As a company said, "Hey, we're gonna jump into the comics game." I guess it happens all the time, but
yeah.
And they make an entity, and it's like, "Hey, now we're Hamilton Comics, and we're gonna put this book out." But the coolest thing is that I think it's next month or so, maybe it's January. It may have come out already too. I'm a little behind. But finally, the crossover that I always wanted, that I never knew I needed.
Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, they did that already.
Power Rangers and Transformers.
Nope, they did that too. Nope, you'll never guess. And I got
Rangers and Black Star.
Nope.
Power Rangers and Snorks.
Nope. You guys give up?
Okay.
Power Rangers meet Freddy Krueger.
Oh, of course.
Oh. I was just about to say that.
If Archie can meet the Punisher, Power Rangers can definitely meet Freddy Krueger.
And Freddy is saying the B word in this, and I'm like, this is amazing, because I'm like, they're gonna tone it down. He can't cuss, he can't kill. Because they're teenagers. He'd have to haunt them. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be epic. I'm buying the book. I can't wait.
Epic.
I haven't been excited about about a comic like this since forever.
Since the 90s. Since the 90s.
The 90s.
Yeah, since the last Mike Turner comic, I haven't been excited.
Yeah, we all have our guilty pleasures.
Oh, I'm gonna read this. Trust me, I'm gonna talk about it for days. I mean, but he can't listen. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'll say it off air.
Yeah.
Don't get yourself copyright struck.
Yeah, exactly.
Copyright struck.
There's a lot of that going on.
Or sent a nasty email. Hey, you mother. Yeah. What did I do?
Where did you talk bad about that fool?
Yeah. Who's putting out this cross? Let me find out. Hold on, because I think it's IDW, but which is funny.
That would not surprise me.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either. Yeah.
I think it's gonna make money. Let's put it out.
$3.
Can we get away with paying the talent $30 a page?
Yeah.
Bingo, bango. Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you're drawing Power Rangers. Shut up. Take the check. Anyway, never mind. That's my opinion, by the way. I don't know if they're being paid. I hope they're being paid well.
Well, no, they're being paid. The well is the.
No, I still hope they're being
debatable.
paid. They're being paid well.
Yeah. Oh well,
Let's see here. There's one here. Let's see. Let's see if that is this the one? Is it already out? Is it? It looks like it may be a. Hold on. Read the first 3 issues. Yeah. Oh, it's read the first 3 issues of Freddy Krueger meets the Power Rangers. Power Rangers Nightmare on Elm Street.
That is so random. I mean, I kind of found it weird when they did the whole Archie and Punisher and Archie and Predator.
That's not bad.
But that's what I keep hearing, that people say, "Oh, they're actually pretty good. They're actually really good."
No, I meant the artwork he was showing. Archie stuff, that's an embarrassment.
I never understood that. It's like, who decided that was this like it's like fan fiction. It's like, who decided that that's what they wanted to read?
There was a period of time there where Archie threw anything that they could get their hands on at the wall to see if it would stick.
Yeah,
I think they're still doing it, honestly.
Ralph says, "Varian, what do you like about the Power Rangers?" You know what? Just the time that it came out, I remember being I remember when I've seen the first commercial. I was a kid, and I said, "There's no way I've seen Voltron already. I'm not watching that." And it came out on a Saturday. I watched it, and I secretly liked it, and I didn't want to tell anyone I liked it. But I went to school Monday, and all the kids are talking about it, and I'm like,
how great it was.
Yeah.
It was awesome, wasn't it? Oh my god! And
you're all sheeple.
Now I will admit, to liking it a lot longer than I should have.
Haven't you ever heard of Speed Racer? Come on.
Oh.
There was a point where I walked into the movie theater for Power Rangers, the second movie they did, and I remember a buddy of mine. We walked in like this, we were hiding our faces because we didn't want anybody to see, But that was around the time Power Rangers Turbo. I was like, okay, this is
as if you were going into a blue theater.
Yeah, really.
I was like, I need to stop
behind the green door.
Yeah. That's what I felt.
Erotic Adventures of Candy. There you go.
Yeah. Travis says, I really want to read Power Rangers vs. Freddy. Yeah, check it out. It's actually up for free. 3 issues. MMPRVSFK.com.
So the thing he found out, that Travis also said before, that random thing I just found out a couple of years, Popeyes is a public domain. That's actually Thimble Theater. So, and you have to be like using, because Travis has got a book that's being crowdfunded now that's got Oz versus Cthulhu in it. You have to be extremely careful what iconography you use and what you don't use, because some of it's in public domain, some of the Fleischer materials in public domain, but not all of Popeye is in public domain. Just ask King Features.
Right. Well, it's kind
they
of
will
like
happily let you know where that line is if you cross it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole Steamboat Willie thing, where it's like technically Steamboat Willie is in public domain, but try using it.
Well, that's different too, because you don't F with the mouse.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't screw with Disney, even now, especially now. If they think that they can get some money out of you, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
So, but there's some those old Thimble Theaters. I think that Fantagraphics have reprinted in the past are incredibly good, but it's really not kind of the same Popeye. I think I've got an example of that here. I think I still have it up here. Yeah, right here. This is the older Popeye.
Oh, okay.
Comic guys ain't no different from you or me or anybody, except he knows how to draw pictures and is crazy in the head. Yeah,
sounds legit.
At those
Popeye with his finger on the pulse there.
The old Thimble Theaters that Seeger did were based around the oil family. So you had olive oil, castor oil, all of the different types of oils had a character of the oil family. And Popeye come in off the boat, literally. They were looking for a sailor, and he goes, asked him if he was a sailor, and he stands there looking, go, what do you think I am, a cowboy? So, and all of the tropes, Popeye tropes, really came out of that Thimble Theater and the Fleischer cartoons actually invented the spinach routine. But
okay.
I'm sorry, I just read something. It was sent to me. I just read. It's never mind. Yeah. I'll send it to you guys. In messages. I won't. I'm sorry. I was watching my face. I wasn't disagreeing with Randy and Daphne were saying.
Yeah, I put it up in the private chat.
Yeah, I'll type in the private chat. Yeah.
But I mean, is it something you want us to answer?
No.
Oh, not at all. Okay.
A nasty letter you just received? Fan mail from some flounder?
Yeah.
Fan mail from some flounder?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Or you mean,
what the fuck is the matter with people in this business?
Is it one of those?
No, that's not even this business. This is world. But sorry,
world.
Yeah.
Political stuff or
kinda. I'm looking for it now. It's being made out to be more than what it is. But anyway, it's going crazy right now. So
it's a private chat.
Yeah, I private chat. I'll send you guys what the proof, quote unquote, of it is right now.
I wouldn't worry.
I'm like,
that doesn't.
Yeah.
I will say this though.
That's that light at the end of the tunnel stuff. So anybody can check their news; it'll be on there.
Right? Yeah. If something with that, you wouldn't need Facebook and Twitter for that.
Yeah, I'm like, I do have a question though regarding politics and comics. Now that we're out of it. Now that we're out of this, it's not an election year. I mean, it still is apparently. But do you think we'll get a little less political in our comics now? Maybe.
It depends on what I guess like what you consider political, because it's like if it's one thing that I learned with a lot of this this type of conversation is that there are like politics that people don't see as political, and then there's things that, like, I guess it's like if something follows your politics, you don't consider it political. But the second something goes against your politics, it's all politics. So it's just kind of weird like that. Like I kind of like the way how Russ described it, as it's like, what is it? It's like, it's that it wasn't ideology, that it was like hero's journey, not ideology, or something like that. So I guess it just depends on, what you're into and how you react to certain things. Because there are people who, it's like, I mean, I've literally seen arguments where people are saying that Star Wars isn't political, that Star Trek isn't political, and it's like, are we watching the same shows?
Well, any kind of entertainment, art in general, is told from a point of view. So it's going to be political or even propagandic if you dig deep into it. But the key is how well they bury that message in the entertainment value. Are they hitting people over the head with it to the point of insulting, or are they making their point with metaphors and really sophisticated writing? That's why Twilight Zone is timeless, and the Roddenberry Star Treks are timeless. But there's so many other examples like modern Marvel that'll just be swept under the rug and forgotten as time goes on because that somebody wanted to get on a soapbox and
because I hate it because it's like, I personally don't like books that are self-aware, where it's like you could tell that the writer is actually like on Twitter, is reading Twitter or something. It's like, I think that's just way too obvious. But I mean, but the thing is, I think that there's always going to be a certain level of politics involved, but I guess it just depends on how much you react to it.
Yeah,
like
you're always going to have. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Like it's literally like it's like people reacting to politics is really more about them than about what they're reacting to. So, yeah, I mean.
Well, you're always going to have info dumps in stories. That's always going to happen. You're always going to have soapboxing in stories. It's how well it's done that matters. And that makes the piece interesting and evergreen. And again, you go back on those old Twilight Zones, and there's preaching, there's points being made all over.
Oh yeah.
I've been rewatching the old Laugh-Ins that are the old Rowan and Martin Laugh-Ins that are really political and really, some of it's really deep. I remember watching it as a kid and not remembering all of the politics and all of the statements that they were making at the time. But at that time, it was 68, 69 that I'm up to 69 on them, 1969, watching them. And it's a lot of that's anti-Vietnam. A lot of it's anti-George Wallace. And they have an awesome piece there that I thought was really striking, where they said, we're here. We totally believe that if you can't say nothing nice, not to say anything at all. And now a few words about George Wallace. And it's got the entire cast in front of a Confederate flag, all with looks of disgust on their face. And the camera slowly pans across to everybody and nothing's said. Then they jump over to the next gag.
Right. Because that in itself was the gag. Yeah.
That was their point.
Yeah.
That's a lot different than somebody standing up going, what's wrong? You're a white male. Then because you're a white male, all of this and this and this and this. Or, Or, you need to stand up more for this or that and that. Instead of showing, which is what comics are all about, show, don't tell. There's so much more telling out there than showing, and that just makes for dull comics.
Right. And also it's like, I think that that what a lot of people are making, like a big mistake that a lot of people are making is actually associating whatever media that they're consuming with their like moral center. That it's like, oh, unless you consume the right media, you're not a good person, or it defines you as a good person or a bad person, completely depending on what media you're consuming.
It just adds to the blinders on you, like a
yeah,
horse.
and it's just really, really weird, because it's like I see this a lot in literature circles, where it's like there are people who are literally arguing that if you read and enjoy Lolita, that makes you a pedophile. And it's like, no, it means that I read and I enjoyed Lolita. It's a novel. Any more than, my favorite book being American Psycho doesn't make me a serial killer.
Yeah.
And there are people like taking this literal definition with media, and it's like I'm that's a bigger problem I have with that. It's like
during the underground movement when Crumb went out and did pieces on necrophilia and incest and all that. Obviously, you're one big ass pervert. No, obviously, you're testing boundaries to see how much can I get away with, and
exactly.
If you can inspire or incite people,
right? It's like, I mean, it's a lot of weirdness going on. It's almost like it's beyond politics, really. It's more like, consume the right media, and that makes you either a good person or a bad person.
And now we're getting really, really dark and serious on a
yeah, I know. Right?
Those shoving politics down your throat covertly didn't take writing classes. Yeah.
Well,
overtly. Yes. Yeah. Overtly. It should be covertly. Covertly, it's done well. I concur. Cameron Payne says, thank you, Cameron. Stint says, Daphne, wow. Nico Machian.
Ethics. To entertain the thoughts while not engaging with them. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right.
I will show you something lighthearted.
Nietzsche Machian.
Oh, probably, yeah.
A lot of doorways. Sounds like murder. Knobs.
Huh?
I'll show you guys something lighthearted. The Power Rangers tried to bring the weapons together and hit Freddy with that power blast. Freddy just stepped aside, and the Rangers were shocked. Like, has anyone ever done that before? But because people just stand there. When those formulaic, was that the word? Cartoons or television shows.
Formulaic.
The bad guy never steps aside when they're going through all these motions, but Freddy does. But Freddy hits him with his own maneuver, which I think is awesome. It's the power ass. It's awesome.
Right.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I could have
Everybody finds their lighthearted jollies in different directions.
I guess, yeah. Someone got paid to draw that.
And I can just see him. He does what? Cool.
Right.
This is what a violent Freddy fart looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I gotta read the whole thing now. I've got to read it.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, what's funny is that I can't even say that's out of character.
No.
I mean, can't even say.
No, I was like, if you watch Freddy Krueger, that's pretty standard for the character.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, and then I'm sure that they would have to pass that by some licensing board too.
Yeah,
if not both of them.
I'm not sure if it's licensed or not, but it looks like the first 3 issues are up there. So, a
lot of knobs.
Metapocalypse, Necroplasm.
Necroplasm. Yeah,
I had a gentleman a couple of years ago. He wanted to do a comic, and he wanted to make a comic that was, no politics, just his characters going on adventures, kind of like Johnny Quest. And I remember he wasn't publishing with me, but he was telling me about it. And I remember one of the things that he said was that he was having a hard time finding a publisher because people were telling him, well, your story has to have a hook, and the hook should be based in reality. And it was, so the characters going to an ancient Mayan ruins and being attacked by Mayan, ghosts or, statues or whatever. That was unrealistic. Now, me personally, if I go, listen, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I may have a mental defect, but I go to New York, I go to Manhattan, I'm walking around downtown Manhattan, I look up in the air because I fully expect to see Spider-Man swing by at some point. I just do. It does. But I may have a mental defect. But if I go to any ancient ruins, I'm like, don't touch anything. You know, like I know better. I'm like, I've seen this in a movie. If you touch that, it's gonna come to life and kill us.
I went one of the few times I was in New York City. I saw Doctor Strange's window.
Oh. Yeah, see?
Went there and went, I know who lives there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's Bleecker Street. Yeah, it's funny. You watch television shows and say, "Oh, he lives on Bleecker." I'm like, I know who else lives on Bleecker. What's the address? How do they break their addresses down here?
Joe says, as a creator myself who has 3 comic series out on the market now, I'm quite aware of the hours put in. However, those hours should show the financials that was put in. Is that those hours should show the financials that was put in by the creator as well. You can't say you need $5,000 to make a comic without putting up a dime themselves. Man hours does not always equate to money put in to get samples or pencils or pinups to show the proof of concept of the comic.
Yeah, I think I see what he's getting at. Because it's like, just because you need an X amount of money to pay an artist to do your comic, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't already be putting up money already to get that work done. Like, because again, going back to the whole gatekeep thing with Kickstarter, because the thing is, though, it's like, we shouldn't have to, like, you shouldn't have to wait for a Kickstarter to see if you can actually get the work done. Technically, you should be able to get that process started so that when you go to the Kickstarter, you've already shown that it's like, yeah, this is what we have already, and we just need the money, the Kickstarter money, to push us over that final hump. Mm-hmm. But it shouldn't be 100% thing that it's like, oh, we can only do this with Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm. I've said it before, and I said on Indie Vote. Oh.
Even if that's the case, though, as long as they're transparent and they're upfront about, right, we need $10,000 in order to pay an artist, and we don't, frankly, we don't have that money. That would be a lot different than, what's gone, some of the fraud that's been pulled in the past.
Right. Yeah.
And there was a young
real fraud.
There was a young lady a couple years ago. She was on GoFundMe, and she had a comic she wanted to put out, and the artwork was phenomenal. Like, the artwork was great. But that's because she hired an artist that was really good, and the guy wanted big money per page. I think he was asking like $400 to $500 per page.
Oh,
and yeah, she was asking for a lot of money herself. And I remember she wrote an update. She says, "Guys, I really appreciate everyone reaching out, but everyone who's reaching out was like, hey, find the cheaper artist. You're not gonna hit your goal because this guy is
too expensive.
And he had already done some." Like a couple pinups, and he done some sequentials. He had done some, like maybe about 10 that she had on the page, and she came out of pocket for those sequentials.
Yeah.
And now she's at a point where she needs to get the rest of the book done, and now she's got to go to GoFundMe, and people are reaching out saying, "Hey, this guy is too expensive. I know a guy who will do it for less than half of that."
Right.
And she responded, she's like, "Look, I appreciate it, guys, but I really want to keep the project on, as I want to keep him on the project." But it ended up like not going anywhere. Like, the campaign just sat there because it was almost unattainable. But I've said on Indie Vote Live before, and I've gotten some flack for it. But Randy, you might remember me saying this. I said that print on demand had made entry into the industry a lot easier, a lot less expensive, because now, anybody that can hold a pencil can put their own book out, which is that's fine. But it made it also with that,
or click a magic button.
Right. With that, you're going to get a lot of crap too. That normally, because look, like I asked you before, Randy, when you made comics back, when you first started, you had to go to a printer, and they needed a certain minimal copy number for you to hit of units, whether that was like $4 or $5 worth of units, and then you had to pay maybe $2 or $3
It was $2 or $3 units. Our break-even point, if I remember correctly, was in the $800.
Okay.
Yeah, but not for nothing though. That same argument was used back then too.
Yeah.
That the cost of printing was so low that anybody who could pick up a pencil could just put out a black and white comic. So it's not like the argument has changed over the years.
I know a lot of cheap asses that couldn't do 800.
That was a hard backlash in the comics media against black and white comics when they first started up in the late 80s. You guys aren't real comic people.
Right, yeah.
So now
you're making comics.
This thing is going to be another hurdle for people to get over. Like, I can't afford the artwork now. Or, I got a pin up and I got some images that I mocked up, but they want to see, how far the comic is actually done.
Yeah.
And how much of it is done before they'll let me launch my campaign. And that seemed like another hurdle people are going to jump over. Now they're going to jump over. The easiest hurdle to jump over is jump right over to Indiegogo, who doesn't have that safeguard in place.
Well, again, that's why your campaign needs to be transparent. You need to be liquid on your campaign. You get and I've seen this happen on a lot of really good campaigns. People that know how to run them. They get a cover, they show a cover, they get a cover in color, they show a cover. Luke Stone's Hybrids book is a big example for that. He got a special variant cover in order to cover a stretch goal. Boom, it's up there. Look at this. Here's an extra added incentive. But you get that stuff as you go along, as you're able to make the money, and boom, here you go, boom, here you go. Or you keep people informed. Like I'm not going to name specific, but there was one campaign that I was following that had multiple stories in it. This story's done. This story's done. This story's lettered. This story's being colored. The story's almost done. The story, those are the good campaigns, the ones that are transparent, so that you can buy in. Once you realize this is a serious thing, it looks good, it's going to be done, all of the stories look great, Okay.
Now, my question though is how does this artist justify a $400 a page rate when not even Marvel and DC pay that?
Well, here's they pay it to. Here's the problem.
It's like, did she hire? I mean, it's like, is she? Yeah, is she hiring Michael Turner from the grave? I mean, it's like, it's like.
Here's the difference. Here's what happens.
Varian would pay $500 from Michael Turner from the grave too.
Yes, sir. I'd mortgage my house and do what? Yeah. Here's the thing. Some people look at what Jim Lee's making and they say Jim Lee was getting, because I remember when I was 2000, I heard Jim Lee was making $400-$500.
That might not be a good example, but
they were like, Jim is making $400-$500 a page. I want that. I deserve that. That's my rate.
And that's what I was afraid of.
But this guy was good. He was damn good, and I could see somebody justifying him, or him justifying himself as. I mean, he was that level. I wish I still remembered the girl's name, because I would like to see if the thing was still up there. I know it had died though; it wasn't happening. But
Icarus in the Sun? No, that's not right.
No. But
technically, yeah, she overshot. It's like she wanted Jim Lee and flew too close to that sun.
Xylon Uchidu?
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, I have an unrelated question. We're all unrelated here, Xylon.
Yeah, exactly. We're all good.
I know Spawn is Image Comics, but was he ever placed as a Marvel character?
I mean, the joke is that he's a ripoff of Marvel characters. So
he's
I can understand the confusion.
The Foundation is almost 1-to-1 for characters that the talent wanted to draw.
He's almost Venom in a way, but no, he's never been a Marvel Comics character. However, interestingly enough, Angela was
right, yeah,
was the Image character that they sold to Marvel.
Yeah. Angela, because Neil Gaiman ended up owning her and was like, I'm gonna sell it to Marvel. So, and now I think she's Thor's sister now.
Probably, yeah.
So it's but no, Spawn has never been a Marvel character.
At this point, you're lucky she's still a woman.
Angela. Well, look, blasphemy on Sunday.
Pain. Blasphemy on Sunday. Yeah. What?
I had a friend who was tracking down the Tiffany
and Angela
figure. But he was tracking.
Was it Angela or Angelica?
I think it was Angela.
Angela, yeah. He was checking on the Tiffany figure because he was so attracted to the character. I'm like, what are you gonna do to that toy when you find it?
Tiffany the singer?
No, the
okay. That changes the story.
The Spawn character.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah.
Of course.
It's like, I'm gonna create all these angel characters. Well, what are you gonna name that angel? Tiffany. What? Have you been in the weed again? Have you been drinking again? Although I got some crazy names for characters. Daphne, has that been an issue, like when naming characters, like coming up with names? Has that ever been an issue for any of you?
Yeah. I use a lot of random name generators I find online. But the thing is, though, like the fantasy ones are the worst ones, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of times the character or the name suggests the character.
Yeah. So it's like you kind of have to sit there pressing refresh and like kind of like coming together with the combination of vowels.
Yeah.
That works.
I'll tell you how I came up with my main character's name. I sneezed.
Oh.
I sneezed and I'm like, that sounds like a name. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let me write that down. Yes.
No, it really
suddenly
Tattoo
has life. Yes.
As you know, I sneeze like a wounded animal.
Oh, and you see that one. Like you're being murdered in the next room.
Yeah.
With Tales from the Anniverse, we had a Lincoln Library, which is a really big book, and went through the different animals' Latin definitions and pulled their names out of that.
Yeah, see, I needed a name that sounded like no one had before. And I remember saying it had to have two qualities. It had to sound biblical.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And it needed to sound I would like for it to have some type of like Egyptian/African undertone to it. And I could not come up with anything. And everything I kept coming up with was like had like Matthias at the end. I'm like, I don't want Matthias. I don't want Cathias. I want something completely different. And and I sneezed, and I'm like, I was 18. I remember I wrote it down. It stuck. It's stuck ever since. So I'm stuck there. But
no, we're just completely ruining the creative process for people here.
That was your subconscious talking to you through your nose.
Yeah. People thinking that we get these ideas from on high. No, I sneezed.
Oh no. Random name generators and sneezing.
And by the way, guys, let me finish off. Let me put another black eye on the creative process. Do you know how much we steal?
Oh well, that's hey, even Picasso said
that's not stealing. That's homogeny.
Yeah. Like we watch a movie and say, I could have did that better. I'm gonna do it better.
Also, there's that weird thing where it's like the same creators end up with like the same ideas at the same time, and it's not like we're like copying each other. It's just that I guess that's how common certain cultural ideas are and come together.
I was told the general rule on comic creation is whenever you come up with an idea, there's 5 other people that have the exact same idea.
Oh yeah,
and how far they get to press and how physical they become is all up to you and your abilities.
That's true.
And your drive in order to want that to come to fruition.
And in the end, that's why it's like you shouldn't like do 17 versions of an issue 1.
Yeah.
just get it out.
Yep.
Just get it out because there's someone working on the same idea as you, and
get it out, get it done, get it in the ether. Yeah.
I remember, I don't know if anybody's ever had the white hot fear of sitting in the theater when trailers start and you're like, hey, you're watching the trailer, you're thinking like, that's real close to my stuff.
Oh, hey, I've had that happen.
You're looking around and now you're sitting and the movie you came to see is now like, you're fuming. It's in the theater. Think about that little 30-second trailer you saw like, stole my shit.
Yeah, well, no, I had that happen with an Anne McCaffrey book that she put out years ago. She put out a book about a unicorn girl, and I was so tight when I saw it. So tight. But but in the end, it's like the book was so different from what I was doing. It was just only the commonality was superficial.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something, because my son is a big fan of Mr. Zimmerman and the Preservers books, and he's got some of Randy's other stuff too. He's got the Tales from the Aniverse books, but I made a mistake. I buy my son like old cartoon DVDs, and
you bought him a Bucky O'Hare, didn't you?
I did, and he came to me and he said, "Dad,
what's a furry?"
Well, no, what he wanted to know.
No, they acquired the name Aniverse.
Oh,
it's Bucky O'Hare, and it's like, no, dude, that was us.
Well, he wanted to know where some of those characters were.
Oh, and Bucky O'Hare.
And they remade toys since.
Yeah.
And he wanted to know where some of the characters from the Aniverse were and why weren't they in that cartoon. I'm like,
different universe.
Yeah, I'm like, but to him that doesn't make sense because he's been raised on Marvel Universe, DC Universe, Image. These two, sometimes they'll cross over, but they don't. And it kind of confused him. I had to explain to him, "Oh no, that's not Randy's. That's another one." But Randy's first. And,
a whole different universe. Yeah. I'm sure we generated, and it's not a far stretch to combine the word animal and universe together,
right?
Into Aniverse. So that's the way it goes.
But
Tales was out before Bucky O'Hare came out, though.
A friend of mine in high school, we had actually, because we were stupid. We were stupid teenage boys. We were 17 years old.
It was those years.
Usually happens.
We had this idea that we were going to start parroting people's ideas and making these adult versions. And they were adult in the fact they were so immature.
Oh yeah.
But we called it
because it's that age. It's that age.
We called it the Perverse, and we thought we were so original. Like we got the Perverse, and it was never came to fruition. But we had a lot of fun driving around talking about what characters would meet in the Perverse and what they do to each other, and not sexual, but like just. Yeah.
Oh, what a waste! You call it the Perverse, but it's not that.
That you should copyright that.
Perverse, yeah,
that's a good name. That's a good name. You could do that. Always wanted to do an underground comic of the sex lives of superheroes because I think it would be funny. The Flash, hey Iris, want to do it? And then the next panel is, hey Iris, want to do it again? And she's all disheveled.
Didn't Bob Guccione put out the Penthouse comics? Didn't they do that?
Not that I'm aware of. He might have. The Penthouse comics were really IPs that other people had created, like Bethlehem Steel and a few of that one really sticks in my mind. But the reason I even remember Penthouse comics is at the time I was right before that I was managing a chain of bookstores that were adult, and I had
you really did do everything, didn't you?
I pitched an idea. It was really just regular bookstores with a hardcore adult aisle. I pitched the idea of printing a comic, an adult comic. I think I sent it. Some of the stuff.
I think so. Yeah. The red cover.
The red cover. And the guy who was the boss at the time, his name was Jimmy Olsen. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge, wink. Told me it would never sell because nobody wants to buy comics when they can just pick up a picture book with photographs in it.
Oh boy!
And then, 6 months later, Penthouse Comics came out. And I'm like, And then about a year after that, and I had sent that same thing to Hustler, and I've got a handwritten note from Tinsley, who was the big editor at cartoon editor at the time before he went up on child porn charges. But
hey, yeah.
But anyway, he hand wrote and said, "This stuff's great, but I can't print it because it's in comic book format. Send me some single panel stuff, and I'll definitely look at it." So, which I never did. But then, like I said, about 6 months after Penthouse Comics come out, they started doing comic book pages and Hustler humor, and I'm like,
there we go, yeah.
Let's get by that much.
Name of the Perverse.
Exactly.
What?
Look, if you're going to do it, run with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even thinking perverse. I was thinking PER-verse as a pervert.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what we had.
Was that what I was like, did I just completely misunderstand that?
Let's see, the thing sitting there reading a newspaper, and off to one side is, I'm hiding from you. The other, and you see a little go wiggling across. I'm looking for you. Cut that out. I kind of wish you had done that now. Maybe I'll do it. But
Yeah, I don't think that
the old She-Hulk joke.
No.
She hands somebody a tissue and earplugs. And never mind. Leave that up to your imagination.
I do think that
it ends with the tagline. I hate.
Look, we can't say we fell off the rails because we never were on any rails from the beginning of the
show. I thought that it was. I tried. I tried to keep it on.
Record setup is cool. What?
Yeah. You know, I got to say something. I am constantly looking off to the right of Daphne, and I'm like, who's getting ran through? So I guess it would be your left, or is it your left?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm pointing at my computer, expecting you to see right.
Who's getting run through? Because I see blood on that sword. I'm like, someone.
Oh no! The sword is red. The sword is red. You know, it's like I remember you showing tremendous concern over that sword.
I'm like, is someone getting ran through? Am I missing some action off to the right?
Right. Although on this side it gets a little
bloody,
exciting. Yeah.
Off camera is the naughty bits. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, almost like way to your left there. The two monkeys wedged in a cleat.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Yeah.
There's a design in the sword, so yeah, I see now that there's a design that's not, you wouldn't have drawn blood like in that.
Oh right, no, but I mean the sword is red. It's a magical sword. Yeah. So yeah.
Because I'm like, somebody just got ran through, and no one else is showing concern.
Right. Well, no, that happens a lot in the book. So
like, did you stab Billy? Yeah, it's cool. Okay, great. He's dead.
Right, exactly. He had it coming.
Daphne's book, Tall Tales.
Yeah, he had it coming.
ILS.
Yes.
Yes, Jody McPhee agrees. It's Mike's type. He's on my mind. Yeah, I got the Indie Vote logo right there. The little, they call it a mic flag. But I don't put it in the shot that much. In the shot. When I try to do it when it's like Breakfast Buzz or like Indie Vote Live. I try to do it, but like on other shows, I'm like, put it up here.
I have a Yeti.
Yeah.
It's right there.
I got
large antique that I'm looking at. So.
And I got this. It got a big arm that goes across and drops the mic in my face. I need to move it around. I need to tighten this arm up
like a professional.
Yeah, like a professional. I feel like a pro when I do this. You know, it's funny, and Randy jokes about this, but we had a back before the show. One of the guys on the show, I found out that he had a better camera than me, and I could not live in that world. And so
you were so self-conscious.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I ran out to Best Buy, and this is pre, Beer Bug. I ran out to Best Buy, and I'm like, I got to get that camera, and they had two of them, and I'm like, I got to get a better camera. I got to get the same camera he has or better.
Well, was it like a DSLR or whatever?
No, he just has a regular Logitech.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, I gotta get it because I had the C920.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the one everybody has.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, he had a C922. And I'm like, with the silver like, face. And I'm like, okay. That he's not gonna have better than I. And I
can't even tell what I've got here.
Well, I think you have the C920, Randy.
Yeah,
I think I have the.
It's black.
I have the C922X.
Yeah, see, I was like, I couldn't live in that world, so I was like, well, what's better? I did my research and I found the Brio, and the Brio was like going for $250. And I'm not paying $250 for a webcam. I'm just not.
Yeah,
but they dropped it down to $200. For some reason, that $50 break made it for me. I'm like, I'm going to buy it. So I went and bought the Brio, and that's what I've been using. But it gave me so many problems. Randy, remember at the beginning, it gave me a ton of problems because StreamYard couldn't stream in 4K, and this shoots in 4K.
Oh, okay.
And it was so much. It was all these connections
because everyone needs to see our beautiful faces in 4K, right?
Every bit of stubble, bit of stubble, every gray strand I've got in my hair now since I got married. And
And by the way, everyone, all of those podcasts are archived over on our YouTube page. If you go over to the Indie Volt YouTube page on YouTube, you can look through all of those old broadcasts, point and laugh all you like.
And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Yep.
Because we're trying to get monetized so we can get demonetized immediately after.
We haven't been copyright struck enough.
Yeah.
From the right people.
Can I show you guys?
No, right people.
And it's not Sunday. It is funny.
All legitimate.
Who would buy? Who's interested in buying this? You guys tell me. You guys tell me, because I seen it and I almost dropped $50, almost up to $100.
Well, obviously you were going to buy it.
This better not be porn.
No, it won't be. It won't be. I seen it and I was about to buy Dreaded Dinosaur, who's a big shark fan, by the way. I was gonna buy Dreaded Dinosaur one for Christmas and myself one because I'm like, it's adorable. I've got to have one. Here it is.
Baby shark. Yeah.
So they're talking to the little shark.
I've seen this video. Yeah.
They talk to the little shark. It rolls over, right? You're like, oh my goodness, how cute, right? And I'm like, I could play with that for like 20 minutes and and get tired of it.
I kind of think this is just someone's CGI.
Well, because
obviously,
people have been buying that crap and getting this plastic shark that doesn't move in the mail, and it doesn't move, and it's the biggest grift ever this holiday season.
Oh wow, it's like sea monkeys. Like people are still actually falling for that.
Yeah. Be careful, everybody. It is.
Don't buy baby sharks in the mail.
Yeah, I mean, because
watch your crowdfading campaigns too.
Yeah, for real. And then you wonder why Kickstarter's doing this.
I'm making a shark that moves and talks. Yeah.
It's again, people are like, oh my goodness, I got to get one, and then you realize that it's.
I can't believe that people are falling for that. That they don't understand that this is CGI.
Yeah. So
wow. Don't
buy the baby shark if you see
don't buy the baby shark.
Yeah,
baby turtles on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Just be very careful.
Yeah.
I'll get something like that soon.
Also,
special editions, nice.
Let me see here. Yeah, we got there's a lot of different microphone options people can get. I know that one of the other ones, a lot of people use the snowball. Daphne, what do you have?
I have both the Yeti and the snowball.
Okay.
I like the Yeti better. The snowball is, it's $50 cheaper for a reason.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get a microphone and spend the extra $50 and get the Yeti.
And hey, everybody out there in the chat, since we are on Sunday Funnies, we're trying to be funny here.
You are we are.
I've been looking for a good, lighthearted podcast to listen to and haven't been able to find a whole lot. Is there anybody out there listening or watching a streaming video that lasts more than 10 minutes that's actually funny and worth time watching? Or better still, worth time listening to so that I can do work and listen to it at the same time? Because
that's true. That's actually kind of hard to find.
A lot of the podcasters I've been listening to are suddenly not doing anything.
Right.
Or kicking out maybe twice a week instead of twice a day or once every other day.
Right.
It gets real irritating. So,
like if you're into true crime, you can find that all over the place.
Yeah, you can find serious stuff everywhere. But some nice, lighthearted, entertaining podcast is really difficult to find. That's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to start Sunday Funnies.
Well, we live in
that and talk about the more lighthearted comics.
So. Well, when we can get around to that.
We work in such a venomous industry right now.
We do. It's important to stay lighthearted, and it's really important right now to push and talk about the good stuff. The stuff that really made comics in the first place and makes them entertaining. So,
God forbid.
Which include comic strips.
Right. Yeah.
Cartoons, movies. Lunchboxes.
Yes, selling out.
really bad cartoon crossovers or comic book crossovers.
I did
crossovers.
You know what? I have I remember one of the first maybe the second or third Wizard World Comic-Con I went to. they had Dark Child and Witchblade lunchboxes.
Oh yeah.
And boy, I bought them up. I got 3 of them, I think. Yeah, one got dented pretty bad when I moved, but it's only on one side, the denting. Yeah, so you can get lunchboxes, guys. Get them made. I think they're pretty.
I don't think. Yeah, I think that's the beauty of digital now. It's like a lot of this merchandise that was kind of like out of the question 10, 15 years ago. Now it's like you could actually get that made. I mean, I just found out that Redbubble now you can design your own backpacks. And yeah, and it's like you download the template. I still have to try it, but yeah, and it's just really funny that it's like, wow, it's like, remember when you had to go to an actual manufacturer to even, and even then you had to, again, it's like you had to spend like, you had to buy like 1,500 units or something.
It's like back at the start of the black and white age, you had to hit 1,000 or 2,000
right, yeah.
units in order for them to take
now you can get all sorts of nonsense made up.
Printing, inkjet style printing really come into vogue, and it's long enough now that it's been perfected. That when I went independent here with my commercial artwork back in 2004, I think it was, they had an inkjet printer where you could print directly onto shirts.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I was looking at getting that, but the problem with it is that it broke down. The technology was so new, it broke down too easily. And I've known a couple of printers that's had it broke down, and the tech, you had to fly the tech out to you in order to fix it and pay the tech $125 an hour in order to get it fixed. So I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Final cutter.
Daphne, I don't know if you've ever seen this.
What?
I don't know if you've seen this. I'm probably gonna copyright strike myself.
Oh boy.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
oh my God, I'm gonna copyright you, strike you right now. That funky old man with the beard. That guy in the closet with murder on his shirt.
Wow.
It's
Look at that basement. My God, what a mess.
It's the one of the first Indie Vote shows. In fact, I think it's the first live stream. And And
is this the one you were copyright struck on?
No. That's I could show that one too.
No,
like it's like the comics version of Death Row Records in a basement.
Yeah. It was
That's before I put up my sheet. That's why I've got a sheet up, folks.
It's very early.
That shit's actually better cleaned up than then, and I still have a sheet.
Oh well, yeah.
It was, look how, I mean, and I think I realized that I was zoomed in really close to my face at this point.
It's just as well because you got murder across the top.
Yeah. You know what? It actually says Murder Comics, like Marvel Comics. It says Murder Comics. I've worn the shirt since, but it's I think I fixed the camera halfway through. I get it off my face.
My spiral rack's way back there. I've got a different chair.
Yeah,
I love that chair until it broke.
Yeah, see, it says Murder Comics.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was, and then I fixed it. I changed the angle to more kind of what it is now. It's this sideways angle, but kinda, not quite, not that old mic I had. Wow. Yeah,
it's classic. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's some classic footage right there.
Yeah. So I just wanted to show you guys that's the early Indie Vote stuff. I'm gonna copyright strike myself, like I said.
Do it. Yeah, those bastards.
Yeah, they're using our footage. That's your footage. Yeah, but so what?
They didn't use any sound. You get that note back from YouTube just laughing at you.
Yeah.
Sir, we found that this falls under fair use guidelines.
Oh boy.
Especially since it's your own shit. Leave us alone.
Since 8 amount of comic books. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, it was dark and gritty. It's just
yeah.
Those
are the days.
Yeah, it's funny to look back on it because I'm like, ooh.
So how long ago was that footage?
February. Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not long.
It's really funny how the technology has jumped up. It really is.
It's not just the technology. It's just we've gotten a lot more aware of how we look on camera.
Right.
And stuff around.
Yeah.
Blocked out the freaking basement.
Well, yeah, I know. It's just, it's like now it's like I don't do anything without thinking about how it would look on camera.
Yeah. Yeah, because it gets pretty rough. I mean,
it takes a couple years for shows like this to catch on. Anyway.
Right? Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know.
So everybody out there listening, we're behind. You need to step up and tell folks about the Indie Volt radio program, Sunday Funnies, Geekgasm on Wednesday at 9 p.m. The Indie Volt regular broadcast Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. and the Breakfast Buzz Thursday mornings also at 9 a.m. Just like Sunday Funnies starts at 9 a.m. All of those times are Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you tell your friends.
Yeah.
So that they can point and laugh as well.
Right. Yeah. Yes. We're all about having fun and
they can talk and go back to those. Go back to the catalog, the archives.
We swear we usually have a theme for the Sunday shows. We're not usually this off the rails.
Not really. Not really.
Witness.
We're lucky when we do have a theme. I think a month ago we had a theme. We had all the Arrow Comics people on. We'll have more themes.
An excellent show, by the way. Excellent show.
That was fun.
Go back to the archives. Witness me discovering that I can't run a show by myself.
Oh.
Yeah, that episode right there, you'll discover me not being me discovering that I cannot run a show by myself at all. No. But there's the Indie Vote News. That's what you guys rarely see.
Yeah.
They never see the Indie Vote News. They don't see they don't see the stone wall, the little curtains we got. They don't see any of that stuff, a little TV. But witness me learning that I don't have the what's the word? The charm.
Oh,
run an episode. I run a show by myself.
And that your wife's happier when you're
radio.
Yeah, exactly. Your wife's happier when you're broadcasting in the corner and not in front of the fireplace.
Yeah. This is her being happier that she's not off to the side, laying on the floor, controlling the televiation through the computer. That's and she was very sore after that. She's like, oh, everything hurts. That's
it's not good. She's going in on Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow. Low surgery scheduled for tomorrow.
So we'll be thinking
we wish her well and a speedy recovery.
Yeah, she's not excited. And
I wouldn't be either. So I don't blame her.
I'm gonna take her out for lunch today, or we're gonna go out for lunch today, and then I imagine she's gonna come home and want to sleep and wake up and get this done.
Oh no, I know. That's exactly. Yeah, it's exactly what she's going to want to do.
Yeah, she's like probably not looking forward to tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I think she's going to do well. She'll do okay.
Yeah, she'll do fine.
She'll be fine. It's just going to be a little bit of discomfort.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Meredith says, not usually off the rails. Oh, really?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Comment talk with Pops Van says, hey, people. Hey, Pops. How's it going?
Hey, Pops.
Yeah. Pops. How are you?
And Jody
McPhee. Not Pops anymore. He's Comic Talk with Pops.
Comic Talk.
Okay. Yes.
That Van middle name, man. It'll get you in trouble. Gotta be careful.
No chops for being solo.
Yeah. I can't. He said, I don't have the solo stuff, man. I can't carry your show. You know, I gotta have
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
That's usually how it looks.
No chops for people. That's exactly how it looks here.
It's gonna take time for me to. It takes time for me to grow into a leading man, but it's a slow build. We'll get there. You know what's funny? When I do a show on my YouTube channel, I don't have to worry about shit coming back. Something I said. So it's like I can say what I want over there. I think I'm a little bit more entertaining over there sometimes because I can get in trouble too, and then and I've yet to be copyright struck over there. So
that could also tie back into your viewership too.
Yeah. No one watches me over there. That's why I can get away with what I got to say. No one watches that.
Can't be controversial if no one is seeing it.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're being scrutinized and studied over here.
Yeah. Here he said what?
Yeah. Before we go, we need to remind everybody that the views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of Indie Volt Media LLC and do not reflect the official policy or position of any guest or sponsors. Viewer discretion is advised.
We are not responsible for our opinions.
When are those sponsors coming on?
Some of them should have been on already, but I've got 2 that want me to wait until New Year.
When are we going to talk to Liberty Entertainment Distribution about sponsoring us full time?
I've talked to those guys. They're really hard to get. They demand a certain quality from the shows they sponsor.
When do those checks start rolling in?
Doing a lot of work with that though. A lot of work. Got a few more people, more publishers involved, which I'm really excited about their product. So we'll see how that goes. I gotta get a little bit more. I want to get some more content out there because people that we have that are buying books are really excited about the prospect of buying those books. In fact, I had a retailer reach out to me last week and asked me for a particular book that we don't carry. And I'm trying to work out a deal now where I can get that book and get it too.
Oh, The Infinite Monkey Cage on BBC Radio. Thanks, Glenn.
Everything custom made, like the Joker.
Everything custom made like the Joker.
Yeah, everything. Even the well. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Varian, I didn't forget your cover to the Liberty catalog.
Yeah.
I just had to finish up like a bunch of stuff, and then I'm gonna do a nice little piece for you.
Thank you. Yeah, Daphane's gonna do the catalog cover for Liberty Distribution, the first printed magazine our catalog we're gonna do. As soon as my printer gets back to me, so don't worry, Daphne, you're not
okay.
Which B Rabbit is that? I'm missing that reference.
8 Mile.
8 Mile.
Yeah. Okay. B Rabbit, the role Eminem played.
It will do. Cameron, not usually off the rails, really. LOL. Hey people, we already ran that. Hey Pops, happy to have you here. No chops for being solo. No. She will rock it.
Yeah.
Almost to 100 subscribers. LOL.
Hey, that's good.
That's a start. That's a start.
It's been a while since I've been able to watch your live stream, but glad I could catch this one. You're always welcome, Zylan. You can always go back on the archives too if you need a couple of days worth of time to waste. Yeah. Ready for another big day at the CromCon. There we go. All right. As soon as Pop shows up, LOL.
Liberty just ignores us. LOL.
Liberty just ignores us.
I've been super busy, but I'm gonna get around to doing some sponsorships and everything. By the way, if you're interested in you want to if you've been reviewed by indievote.com, you can go to Indie Vote, like the shows, or if you want to say, hey, I've been interviewed by these guys and you're looking for our logos, if you go to indievote.com, go over to where it says more, you'll see BuzzBox, editorial policy, privacy policy. Underneath that, you're going to see brand assets and resources. And that's where we have the logos for IndieVote Radio, IndieVote TV in PNG and PSD format. So if you need to use the logo for anything, it is there for you guys. There are some rules to using the logo. You have to keep the colorway the same. You can't modify it and edit it and stuff. So many people like to do that type of stuff, but you can't do it.
Please abide by the rules. And remember, we do not have a sense of humor when it comes to parody.
That's right. That's right. We have. We're very much like the Air Force that demanded that all cartoons and art be removed from the planes.
That's not
all
nice.
Of it.
That's a shame.
All of it. It's not fun. War is not fun.
Somebody doesn't have a sense of humor.
Take all the paint off the bomb.
So much for like, morale.
Yeah. Like I thought that was like a tradition or something.
It was, and I got a book on it, and they asked for it all to be removed very recently. They said take it all off.
Wow. Okay.
No more painting on the bombs. No more painting on the. I could get not painting on the bombs. I can kind of understand that, but the plane.
I mean, it's like
that's just going to raise that nostalgia value. So,
yeah. I mean, what's a plane without a nice Varga girl on it?
Yeah.
Especially the old B-2 bombers. Yeah.
The sharp teeth and everything. Nope, it's got to come off. Take it off.
Daphne, how can people find you?
Oh well, they can. If funny animal fantasy is your thing, You can go to talltalesonline.com. That's TAILS online.com and sign up to get the first 3 issues of Tall Tales for free as downloadable PDFs. And if you're also into art tutorials, demos, and the occasional live stream when I remember to do them, you can find me on YouTube at Daphane Lage, Lage art.
Cool. Varian.
You can find me on KYD_V on Twitter. Varian Grant on Facebook, and Indie Vault. Last Call Comics, lastcallcomics.com is my publishing company. Stop by there, check out the brewery, which is the name of our store. Pick up some comics. I'll send them to you, I promise. A lot quicker than I've been doing. And of course, Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group, which is a distribution company that I started 5 years ago, I started researching, putting together 5 years ago. It takes time. Look, I didn't do it willy-nilly.
Overnight. Yeah.
So check me out there. Check that out. Ask me any questions you have. I might not get back to you right away, but I will get back to you, I promise. And if I don't get back to you, it's because
right. Priorities, people. Priorities.
You got that PS5 and you can't let it go.
So how's that Miles Morales game?
It's gorgeous.
As the kids now say, it's tight.
Yeah. It's tight. It's tight. It's dope.
It's fresh.
Yeah. Super dope.
You can find me at Randy Zimmerman on Facebook. You can find me as Randy Zimm over on the Twitter. I don't twit very often or hang out over there very long. Usually just long enough to watch everything I've missed from Hold My Beer. But other than that, we are here on the Indie Vault Network on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Wednesday nights is Geekgasm, which will still continue even without the Indie Princess until she gets better. Then she will take that back over. That's a Geekism from a feminine perspective here at 9 p.m. I think Meredith and Daphne are doing that.
Yes, we will be.
Awesome. And we will be, we also have the Breakfast Buzz, Varian and I, on Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. and anybody else we can corral in. And then also here next week on the Sunday FUNnies, we will be back on from 9 a.m. to whenever we get tired of talking. So we deeply appreciate everybody listening. What's our radio numbers?
Right now, we are at 42.
Oh, we went up.
14.
It always goes up. It goes up through the broadcast. Always. We appreciate each and every one of you out there listening on the radio program. We really do. We invite your input. Please send your comments, suggestions, hate mail, and Varian digs to IndieVolt at indievolt.com. Please include Indie Vault Live in the subject line. You can also include Sunday FUNnies in there if you want. And please keep those emails to 90 words or less so Varian can type them on a card and we can discuss them on a future broadcast. Don't forget Indie Vault Radio at indievolt.com. Listen online now. Whenever we're not broadcasting podcasts like this, we are broadcasting independent and alternative music programmed by the Indie Princess herself. You can get a hold of the Indie Vault radio app at the Google Play Store, also available through Streama. And if you ask Alexa nicely, she might actually play Indie Vault Radio for you. Yep. Indie Vault also has a Roku channel. Did I say that right? Yep. You're going to cut it. Indie Vault also has a Roku channel where we play podcasts very much like this, only in longer play form, and maybe even saying a few things that YouTube might strike us on. I don't know. Wrestling programs, great movies available for streaming. Look it up, Indie Vault TV on your Roku box, available now. So, and again, we'll be back on Tuesday at 9. All of those times I listed were Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Wednesdays, 9 a.m. Thursdays, and 9 a.m. Sunday morning, all Eastern Standard Time for the Indie Vault Network. So. And I think we have a few more programs coming soon.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to a bigger 2021.
Better, please.
Yes, better. Yes,
better,
thank you.
Safer, happier, calmer. All of those things, maybe. We'll see. Maybe not. All right. Shall I take us out?
Go ahead.
Want to thank everybody. Anybody have any last words?
Last words.
Last word. Yeah.
That's not the one. That's not the one. I always get them mixed up. Oh.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
You bunch of losers! You're working with a professional here!